Hey everyone, welcome to week 3 of the Music House Creative Challenge. We've been spending some time with some really fun apps for the last few weeks, and this week we'll have 3 different options to choose from: Music Grid, Dot Piano, and the Ableton Playground. So let's check it out, shall we? The first one we're going to check out is Dot Piano. You can get there by going to dotpiano.com. Here is what I did with Dot Piano yesterday. So it's an app where you can make melodies using your keyboard on either your laptop or if you're at an actual desktop. So on our screen here, there is a play button and a shuffle button where you can hear pre-recorded examples. We have a listen and we have play right here, which is what you guys are going to be interested in. There are a few different options on patterns that you can make and experiment with. The way that you are able to make sounds on this, you're going to use the keys on your keyboard, like to type with. So I can play anything in the row of A, S, D, F, G, H, J, K, L, all the semicolons, apostrophes, any of those keys that are in the middle of your typing keyboard. You can hear that that makes a major scale, right? I can play 2 keys at once. Those are right next to each other. You can see how close the tone is. Farther apart. Even farther apart. That's an octave. We can try another one of these patterns. This is pretty cool. It's a legato sound. And so you get a really cool sound, and you also get a really colorful image too. Over here we have, you can see, it almost reminds me of piano hammers going up and down. Here's some other options. Got a little tremolo. Kind of fades in. You can make it as long or as short as you want it to be. So I'm going to record a short melody. I'm actually going to use the legato kind of circular sound. And you can play anytime. I'm just choosing notes that sound good to me. It's just an experiment. And when you feel like you're done, hit stop. It automatically plays it back for you, and you have an option at the bottom of the page to save it or scrap it, which means you delete it and you can start all over again. Which, when you're trying to come up with a song, sometimes you have to scrap it and start over again. So I'm going to click Save. And now it shows that I've recorded and what time I was recording, where I was, and to share it with me, to share it with anybody else, you want to copy this link that's in blue right here. I'm going to copy that, and then you can paste it into an email to me, like you've done with several of the other apps at this point. Let's check out one of our other options. So we're going to go to another app called the Music Grid. It's at music-grid.surge.sh. we have a grid. We have squares that can light up. They make sounds. You can have as many rows. I have 10 rows right here. Here's what it sounds like. Sounds kind of like an old school video game to me. But it's kind of fun because each one of these squares on this grid represent a sound. You can hear that these way over here to the right are high. And if you go in the opposite direction, that's the lowest tone you can have. You can decide what kind of scale you want. So you know a scale is a group of notes that sort of give us the universe that a piece lives in. We have major scales. Almost all of you have learned about major scales. There's a type of minor scale that you could choose for this. Chromatic just means it's all half steps. Pentatonic means that it is the same kind of scale that if you were to play all black keys, it sounds like that. Classic, I'm not sure. I think it's a combination of major and pentatonic. I have mine set to pentatonic right now. You can change how fast you're going to go. These are BPMs. This goes really fast, a lot faster than my metronome, and also goes pretty slow too. I'm going to put it somewhere in the middle. And you can change how long your creation is going to be. I have 10 rows right now. You can extend it. You see how I just went all the way down? It grew as I moved my slider. If you wanted to make a really long creation, set it at 100 rows. But just remember that you're going to have to fill those rows with tones. What I'm doing right now is making a visual pattern that looks cool to me. I made a diagonal line. I'll make a diagonal line going back the other way. I ended up with a square right there. It's maybe not the way that we usually think about making music, but in a way, music is all about patterns. So it kind of makes sense when you think about it that way. There's so many different things you could do. You could make a picture with your grid. You could make a consistent shape all the way down the line. You could do a bunch of different things. Let's see what it sounds like. All you have to do is hit play. There's a play button and a stop button. There's a delete button where you can clear it and start out again. There's a share, and then there's also a download. So I'm going to hit play. So if I create something that I like, I'm going to go over here and hit share. It copied the link to my computer, and now if I go into email, I can paste it in my email and it will share the link with me or with anybody else that you guys want to share it with. So Music Grid is a really fun and easy way to experiment with not only sounds that you like, but patterns, visual patterns that look cool too. Okay, our final experiment for the week is the Playground, which is brought to us by Ableton. Now, this website is different than the other apps we've played with because for this, you won't be able to save your work and send it to me, which is a little bit of a bummer, but I still wanted to share this with you guys since we've been experimenting with different tones and sounds this week. A synth is a digital instrument, and we are using this website to explore different ways of changing and making synth sounds. Now, there are a whole lot of things on this page that you may not know exactly what they mean. Mainly for this week, I just want you guys to mess around with stuff and see how you can change the sound and see what sounds cool. Now, there is down at the very bottom of the screen is a play button, this blue triangle, and next to it is a button that says presets. Now, I'm just going to hit play and get ready for some crazy sounds coming out of the video. Get ready. All right. Pretty cool, pretty crazy. I can change that. If I click on presets, I have some different sounds. There's all kinds of crazy things. American siren, German siren, laser drum. I like that one a lot. Laser drum, strings, sub bass. It's a really low sound. Old-fashioned computer. Wow bass. 2 sounds in one. So I'm going to hit play again. And I'm going to change it to the loudest thing I can think of, which I think might be distortion. Ah, not too loud. Here's the siren. Nah? What about laser drum? Yes. All right, I'm going to go to strings. Okay. So now, that's the preset sound that I'm playing with. You can hear it's sort of like changing instruments when you change the preset. Over here, there is a category called sequence. That is the pattern, like a rhythm pattern. So I'm going to change it. I'm going to go to 11 fast notes because that sounds interesting to me. So I'm going to hit play and see what happens. Kind of cool. Let's hear what slow and insistent is. Okay, so I'm going to go with, just for experimenting, I'm going to keep it with the slow and insistent. Now, what happens when I move some of these sliders? See what happens when I hit this one. Ooh, did you hear how long it held the note? Amplitude means volume. So that made it a little bit louder. That made it quieter. I wanted to mention that if you get really interested in what's going on this page, if you click over here where there's these 3 lines, it opens up a menu. And you can go through, we're on Playground right here where it says making your own sounds, but you can go all the way back through and there are pages with really short lessons on what some of these things are that we're working with, how to change your sound and what does it mean. So even if you can't record this and share it with me, I think you guys will really have a good time playing with the synth sounds. So we've been making some drum loops. It's still not too late to go back to Groove Pizza and to Songmaker. This week, not so much drums, but more of playing with pitches and instrument tones and how to change those. So as always, experiment, have fun, and share your creations with me. Thanks. See you soon.